Haha. And let's see if this one works. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's the one. That's the right number. What up, everybody? What is up? What is up, everybody? What is going on? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Super loud on my side. Okay, how are we sounding? Are we good? Are we good to go here? We're about to kick this off here. I want to make sure the music is low enough, but you can still hear me at the same time. This mic, it's so sensitive. Is it too low? Give me a second. Let's see. Give me a second. Let's see. Oh, it's fine now. Yeah. That's fine. We'll just pause the music. Will just pause the music. We'll just pause the music. Will just pause the music. All right. Let's take a look here. All right. Let's go ahead and here's the deal. So, this is a little section that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. It was in my head for the last couple of years. That was one of the reasons I really wanted to separate the studio from the room, and get everything a little more set up here in this office, and then I had the pleasure of checking out a channel by the name of Sir Cruz that actually got me very interested, because he actually takes call in, and I was like, you know what, fucking A, that is pretty cool. That is a really cool idea. So I modified it a bit to meet this particular channel, this style of what we're doing here on this channel. And so I have it all set up where you guys can call me in a little later in the day, a little later in the program. Let me actually turn that on, make sure it's all good. Because if I give you guys the phone number right now, y'all will just start calling and everything. So I will call a little bit later. I will do it a little bit later. But as usual with this channel, it's always been a little bit of a mix of everything, and I've always wanted to be able to showcase my other particular talents. A lot of you may not know, but before there was YouTube, I used to do podcasting. I actually used to be a radio show host. So I always wanted to try to bring that back into the mix here on this particular channel, to continue to add more variety to this channel and make sure that people exactly knew when they came to this channel what exactly they were getting. A variety of many things: interviews, skits, reactions, gaming, and news topics, particularly comic news. So there you go. That's what we're gonna get in. That's what we're getting in here with this one, and let's see how it's gonna work out this first test run here. The test run. Let's see how it works. So let's go ahead and get into the news here. As is, I'm gonna start with the first one. Here's the first one, and in fact, I think I'll put the links in the description for you guys. And James Gunn will be the last one. So the first one here is Justice League's flashback battle originally included a more direct Darkseid reference. That is interesting. So, Darkseid is one of the few DC comic villains who doesn't primarily belong to just one hero. The Lord of Apocalypse has proven to be a threat to the entire DC universe on numerous occasions. So although there are times he tangles with the likes of Superman or Wonder Woman on their own, he's generally considered to be the arch nemesis of the entire Justice League. However, the Justice League's movie opted to use Steppenwolf, Darkseid's uncle, as the main antagonist. And Darkseid was only mentioned once during the story. As it turns out, though, Justice League's flashback battle was originally centered around the anti-life equation, thus providing a more direct link to Darkseid. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. For those unfamiliar with Jack Kirby's Fourth World mythology, the anti-life equation is a mathematical formula that, should someone solve it, would allow them to gain total control over all sentient beings in the universe. Darkseid is already one of the most powerful beings in existence, but he's obsessed with piecing together the anti-life equation so that he can erase all free will. In the comics, he's frequently targeted Earth because he believes the equation resides in humanity's subconscious. It turns out that this was the original reason for Steppenwolf and his parademon army invading Earth thousands of years ago in Justice League. As revealed by Weta Digital, which handled the visual effects for that sequence, among other things. However, something changed during the creative process. I think we all know. And in Justice League's theatrical cut, Steppenwolf instead came to Earth with 3 mother boxes to terraform our planet into a copy of Apocalypse, something he tried to do again in the present. Oh, that's interesting. Obviously, the inclusion of anti-life equation in Justice League wouldn't have meant anything to casual moviegoers, but for hardcore DC fans, this would have been a great nod to Darkseid. It also begs the question of if the anti-life equation would have replaced Steppenwolf's goal of completing the Unity. Regardless, the plot element was cut out, and the wait continues to see Darkseid debut in the DC Extended Universe. Still, Justice League wouldn't have been the first time that the anti-life equation has been hinted at in the DCEU, albeit indirectly. Earlier this year, director Zack Snyder stated that the reason Superman is evil in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice's Nightmare is because he became susceptible to the anti-life equation. Oh, okay. It remains to be seen if Justice League 2 will move forward, but Ava DuVernay is working on a New Gods movie, so presumably that will be the next opportunity to learn more about Darkseid and his link to the DCEU. And that is it. Okay. So, not much. Not much. Okay, so basically the takeaway here is the fact that Weta, the people that have done the graphics, or did the graphics for Justice League, basically are confirming that there was supposed to be more than meets the eye with a Darkseid. He was supposed to be included a bit more. Would have changed the movie a bit? Yeah. Would it have been really confusing? Probably, for the casual viewer. If the nightmare sequence, which actually was one of the better parts of BVS, Well, the nightmare sequence was actually one of the cooler parts because it was an alternate reality, so it was easier for myself and a few other people to digest. But it would have just been a little more confusing for regular people to really get into. That's about all I'm going to say on the particular flashback. Moving on. Let's talk about Batman. Let's talk about Batman here. I wanted to talk about this one because this one is somewhat breaking news. Like, with the new Batman movie. So, the new Batman is going to be based on year one, apparently. Again, year one. This is the Matt Reeves one. This one's coming from MovieWeb. Let me go ahead and give you that link, so if you guys want to follow along with the story. Batman under the Red Hood. Can you not hear me? You guys can't hear me. I think you guys can hear me, right? Yeah, I can hear. Turn up your speaker, dog. All right. Oh, really? Is it maxed out? Hold on. Let's see. Right? Like, it seems like most people... Test. Let's go with, All right. This should be more... I just changed one of my settings here, but this should be more than enough now at this point. It's all good. Okay, so just when I move away from the mic. Okay. All right. It's a condenser mic, so that's how it always goes. All right. Let's continue here. So let's get into the Batman movie here. Echoing now. God damn it. That's the one thing I really need an engineer. Let's talk about Batman here. I wanted to talk about this one because this one is somewhat breaking news. Like, with the new Batman. Yeah, it sounds fine, right? Okay. Alright. What up, Ace of Shack? Alright, let's get into it. Here. The Batman is based on year one. Has a younger Bruce Wayne. This is coming from MovieWeb. We've got a small batch of new rumors about the Batman, which still hasn't officially gotten off the ground at Warner Brothers, even though Matt Reeves was hired more than a year ago to take over writing and directing duties from Ben Affleck. The biggest question since the transition has been whether or not we'll be seeing Batfleck in Reeves' movie, as this new rumor would certainly put the final nail in the coffin, as we could be looking at a loose adaptation or movie that takes a good deal of inspiration from Frank Miller's Batman Year One storyline. Yes, the very story that Darren Aronofsky once wanted to adapt. Again, this information isn't coming directly associated with anyone at Warner Brothers or a reliable trade publication, so it should be regarded as merely a rumor for the time being. I hate that. That said, Revenge of the Fans states, after doing some digging, Matt Reeves' Batman script has evolved quite a bit and has seen his version of the Caped Crusader decrease in age considerably. The Batman may feature a version of the character who is meant to be between 20 to 35 years old. There were rumors floating around that Jake Gyllenhaal had met with Matt Reeves about taking over the role from Ben Affleck. That turns out not to be true, or at least those meetings didn't go anywhere. This new report claims that Jack Hudson also met with Reeves for the role. However, they're both in their mid to late 30s, and now the script has taken a different turn. As such, they're likely going to be targeting an even younger actor for the part. In case you aren't familiar, here's a synopsis for Batman Year One. Okay, we know what Batman Year One is all about. Most of us do. Okay, it's pretty much Batman Begins. So I don't know about that. I'm a little mixed about that, but I think it's also because I just watched Batman Begins and I did the TDK trilogy last week and finished it this week, so it's fresh in my head. But technically speaking, Batman Begins is 13 years old now. Yeah, 13 years old, 12 to 13 years old now. So I don't know. Okay, let's continuing. While Jack Hudson is probably not going to be our new Bruce Wayne, this report also notes that he may be in the running as the new Harvey Dent. That would be interesting, considering being played a Two-Face type character on Boardwalk Empire. As for the production timetable, if this batch of rumors is to be believed, we could be looking at a film getting underway in the mid-2019. Though it is still unclear whether or not the Batman will be connected to the current live-action DC movies, which were officially dubbed Worlds of DC at San Diego Comic-Con. There was another rumor suggesting that this could be connected to the Joker origin movie, but that seems very unlikely. There's still many unanswered questions about the Batman. However, the DC movie universe is to be reshaped following the disappointment of the Justice League. Warner Brothers is no longer going to focus on a large slate of movies. Rather, they're taking one movie at a time. All right. So pretty much, what a waste of time. That was just a bunch of rumors. Thank you, MovieWeb, for wasting all our time. Okay. Anyways, no. But this was actually a hot thing that popped up right before I went to sleep last night. So I'll just tell you my take on it. Like, as we were saying during the Dark Knight trilogy, the challenge that we took on, I'm behind Matt Reeves. I feel like if there's ever anybody to get close to what Christopher Nolan did, it would be Matt Reeves. And I can't imagine him completely just regurgitating to us the same story that Batman Begins did. So I really hope that it's going to be a little different. I personally would not like to see anything connected to Batfleck. In terms of Ben Affleck being in the movie, playing the current Batman, or in that current time period, I definitely think it's better to do more of a soft reboot and just kind of give us a story that might be connected to it. It's really messy. It's quite a messy situation, because I, for one, would totally like to see another standalone Batman trilogy that doesn't have any attachments to the worlds of DC or DCEU. but I know that does make things a bit more complicated. The standalone Joker movie is also going to be made, which is kind of crazy as well. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tricky situation. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna start taking calls in a little bit. Yeah, let's go with. Let me give you one more big one, and then we'll get to the James Gunn thing. Josh Whedon reveals he had no plans for Thanos. No plans for Thanos. Josh Whedon reveals he had no plan for Thanos, says Josh Whedon. This is coming from comingsoon.net. Here you guys go. Alright. Yeah, one too many times booting Batman. Alright. With Marvel Studios having officially announced the digital Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K release of Avengers Infinity War, Josh Whedon has spoken out to IGN about his own plan. Hold on, let me move it over here. It's easier. Okay. Better screen. All right. Josh Whedon has spoken out to IGN about his own plans for Thanos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Funnily, it turns out Josh Whedon had no plans. Honestly, I kind of hung Thanos out to dry, Whedon says. I love Thanos. I love his apocalyptic vision, his love affair with death. I love his power, but I don't really understand it. He's had a lot of power, and he was cool in the comics, and I'm like, Thanos is the ultimate Marvel villain. And then I was like, I don't actually know what I would do with Thanos. So I like what the Russo brothers did so much. And I thought Josh Brolin killed it. And they did an amazing job of keeping that performance on screen. But it wasn't like I was like, here's a set of directions. I was like, I'm going to get through Ultron, nap for 4 years, and then I'll come back to the premiere, which I did. And it was like, this is cool. I don't know about that. Destiny still arrives. All right. We don't know how much of that is true, but Whedon has had a very famous falling out with Marvel Studios over several creative battles waged during production of Avengers: Age of Ultron. It's possible he may have entertained thoughts of doing more Avengers at one time, especially when he was helping oversee almost all of the MCU's Phase 2. But after his very public dissing of Marvel and eventual brief sojourn to the DCEU, don't we all remember? Okay. Continuing. He may as well have never had any plans for Thanos. As for the Russos' approach to the material, which included abandoning Thanos' love for death, actually teased in the Avengers first movie, in favor of saving the universe through genocide motivation, Whedon says he's 100% on board with Avengers Infinity War. I thought they did what they needed to do, Whedon added. They gave him an actual perspective, made him feel righteous to himself, which is always the better idea. So I liked what they did very much. I did not know about it. I certainly did not come up with it. Okay. That's it for that one. Then it just gives you information on the Avengers coming out on Blu-ray, which I will be picking up. This is an interesting one here for me because I personally think that Whedon did have some kind of a plan for Thanos, something he wanted to do, but I don't think it was fully realized. Because here's the bigger problem is the fact that it says like he didn't really have any plans, but you can see in Age of Ultron that he was still trying to push something. he was still trying to do some sort of he was building to something. And as we all know, the infamous fallout with Age of Ultron and on set and such, it didn't really exactly go the way that he wanted things to go. So I don't believe that he particularly didn't have any plan, but he probably was going to make him super powerful. On a side note, something else I also noted recently was the fact that there was some concept work of the original ending of Age of Ultron was going to be Ultron. You remember all the tiny little bits of Ultron coming together, right? At the end where everybody was fighting like small Ultrons. They were all supposed to like merge together and makes this giant Ultron monster. That would have been too much, honestly. That would have been too much. It would have been like every other movie we've seen before. Though, I do think it would have been kind of cool to have seen something like that. All the Avengers basically assembling to take down a huge monster. It's not necessarily like what we got. And I liked the way Age of Ultron, for the most part, panned out. In terms of the way, though, the Russos took the Thanos direction, there's a story that came out almost, has it been like 10 years? Nah, it hasn't been that long. Maybe 5 years or so. There's a story that came out called Thanos Rising, and it's basically the origin story of Thanos when he was a baby and his love of death, and on top of that, how Titan, the planet, was dealing with starvation and genocide and things like that. And that was when Thanos first got that plan. So that was kind of, I think, where the Russo brothers really started that idea, because death was still around, but they just took the genocide part of it and made that more the common element. And I think, for the most part, that worked out well. I would have liked to have the death element in there, but at the same time, I also could see how that would be very distracting and a little too much, because the way Thanos Rising dealt with that idea was the fact that it looked like more or less like Thanos was a bit more psychotic. Like, he would see death walking around and shit, but nobody else could see it. And then it started to question his mentalness, and I think that's where he got the name the Mad Titan, because he was going around talking to himself and shit, killing people in the name of somebody that wasn't really there. So anyways, it is what it is on that one. Thanos Rising came out way later when they wrote, and no, or was it called, what was it called? Thanos, no, I think if Thanos Rising, let's see. Yeah, it came out in 2013. Did they really write Infinity War 5 years ago? I don't know about that one. Yeah, Thanos Rising. Here, if you guys wanna see the story I'm talking about, highly suggest you check it out, because it's done very, very well. All right. Yeah, Age of Ultron was being shot back then. Yeah. And yeah, I'm familiar with I'm vaguely familiar with the Infinity, like the kind of restarted Thanos story, the Infinity War one that they did, but I never read it. Yeah. All right. Let's continue. You know what? Let's go ahead and test this out. Let's take some calls real quick. So we have 3 topics that we've just discussed. which I lost already. Ah, there we go. Justice League, Joss Whedon, and Batman, Year One. Let's take some calls. Just a moment. I'm nervous. It's very hot out here. Thank you for asking. God damn it. Come on, Kiki. Fuck it. Let's just do it through the PC. Let's do it through the PC. Let's see if it works. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, can't do it through the PC. Just a moment, guys. Alright, so 3 topics. The Batman, Joss Whedon, and Justice League. You can call me at... Forgot the phone number. I just bought the phone last night. All right. You can call me. Here we go. Call me at 213-674-6007. 213-674-6007. This is gonna be fun. Oh my God, we already got a call. What up, Comics Plus? What's up? Turn your speaker down. What's up?
Oh shit, what's up, Akasan?
What up? Who's this?
I didn't think I would get through to that.
You're the first person to ever get through. Amazing. You're the very first caller. What's your name, man?
Well, my name on here is Complex, but my real name is Demetrius.
Alright, we can do that. Complex. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get the speakerphone on. Great. No speakerphone. Okay, okay. Oops. Hey, what up? Complex?
Hey, I'm here, man.
Alright, cool, cool. Alright, man. So which one did you want to talk about?
Refresh me real quick, because I kind of drew a blank when you answered it.
We were talking about the Joss Whedon, the Batman, and the Justice League. Which one you want to talk about?
I guess the Justice League, because that's probably the biggest thing, right?
Right. So yeah. What do you think about that?
I think it's kind of weird, man. Like, if we're stuck in an age where like we don't allow people to grow, we don't allow people to change and shit, it's kind of fucked up.
Oh, are you talking about the James Gunn thing?
Yeah, it's the title. Shit, James Gunn be hurry.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. So you think it's fucked up, right? You think he should be rehired?
I think he should be rehired, but I don't think they'll do it because, like, well, you know, Chris Hardwick. This is oddly different, but Hardwick just got hired back on The Talking Dead.
I heard about that.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll do it because Disney is a little bit too prideful. Because it's obvious, like, obviously you shouldn't joke about pedophilia and shit like that, especially not ever really, but in the context of which he was making the jokes, we all can understand, especially if you're an adult, that he was making a joke.
I certainly hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, exactly, because especially in these times with Me Too and shit, you really don't know.
Right.
But hopefully he was making the joke.
Right,
So
I agree.
Wait, so what do you feel about it then? Because I forgot what you said.
I'll get to it in a little bit, though. But I definitely think that people, there's a side that's taking this way too far, are using it as an excuse, as just a way to punish somebody for something they did 10 years ago. But I'm still kind of mixed on the firing, but I don't think it should have happened that way. It shouldn't have gone down that way. Until the day we literally find child pornography on his phone, on his PC, a child in his bed, or something like that. Otherwise, to me, it's just jokes right now. And if you can't be regardless if the joke is good or bad, if you can't be creative and if you can't express yourself in some form or fashion, then you know, there's a good article I'm going to read a little bit later about that. All right, Complex.
Okay, cool,
I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
All right, one thing.
Yeah.
Not had nothing to do with the topic at all. Man, come on, man, with the Patreon, dog. I've been waiting for you to finish My Hero, dog. Come on.
Patreon?
I'm waiting, man. Every day I check it. I'm like, come on, he gonna post now. He ain't post today.
We're on episode 18 right now. We're on episode 18 right now. The full reaction.
I know. I finally figured you'd probably get around to it around when you come to New York for Comic-Con or whatever.
For the YouTube stuff, I'm working on it right now with Kit. We're figuring out a backup plan. My my account got terminated on Vimeo for whatever reason, and so we're still trying to figure out another way to make that available for free, other people. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, I'll get you, man. I'll get you, man.
Yeah, because you was uploading so consistently, and then it just stopped one day. And
yeah.
I'm like, what? How hard it is to not watch?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I finished up. I'm up to date on season 3. With yeah, I'm already up to date, but it's taken a while to render all that shit. So don't worry, man. I'll sooner than later. If I can continue with Avatar, we best be sure we're gonna do My Hero Academia. All right. Thank you, man. Thanks for the call. Thanks.
All right.
Hello? Comics Plus, what up? Hello? Hey, what up? What up? Who's this? Hold on, man. I gotta... Does Skype not have a fucking, Ah, there we go. Hold on, man. Ah, there we go. Say it. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, okay. Now I can hear you. What up, man?
This is Akasan, right?
That's right. Who's this?
This is Milton.
Nelson. All right. Which topic you want to talk about?
Well, in response to the James Gunn thing, my personal opinion on that is no, he should not be rehired because yes, it was a long time ago, but he did it over 10,000 times. So the fact that he did it over 10,000 times just kind of, it's a little bit disturbing. And a lot of times what I like to say to people, a lot of people who are defending James Gunn, I like to say, okay, well, do you think Roseanne Barr? I don't think Roseanne Barr should be rehired either. I think it was right for them to fire her too. But I ask, if Gunn should be rehired, should Roseanne Barr be rehired? And they say no because racism, and that's true. But isn't it the same thing with pedophilia?
Okay. I understand.
And then also, the only other thing is with Disney. Imagine you own a children's brand. I mean, from a capitalist business standpoint, you don't want to have that on your record. You don't want to have somebody like that representing you. And I know people like that. Oh well, Disney back in the '40s did all this stuff, but that was a different time. I mean, that was a time when we had segregation in this country. It was a different society.
Okay, I understand. I certainly think that what he said was in bad taste, but I definitely think that in between James Gunn and Roseanne Barr, I certainly think there's a big difference between what somebody says, particularly as a joke, quite some time ago, and has taken steps to improve themselves over the years, compared to someone that had said something blatantly racist, called it a joke, and then later backtracked after getting fired, and later backtracked and started trying to get sympathy, or going back to their old ways once again. So I think there's kind of a little bit of a difference between the two there.
Well, here's what I will say. It looks like Disney did actually know about this ahead of time because, what's his name? Right before he got on Guardians of the Galaxy, apparently he had to make a statement about his past statements. And same thing with Roseanne Barr. I guess what happened was before she got rehired back in 2013, she actually posted a tweet comparing Susan Rice to a monkey, and she still got, and that was in 2013, and she still got hired by Disney in the first place.
That's
so I
wow.
do question if there's a management issue with them.
Well, I mean, and again, I think that's apples to oranges, because the thing with Roseanne Barr is, yeah, if Roseanne Barr did stuff a long time ago and she showed herself as being better for change, then I think that's a better defense. But the thing with Roseanne Barr is the fact that she never changed, and I think that's the bigger problem here. We're sitting on this landscape now. The thing with James Gunn that bothers a lot of people so much is the fact that we're sitting on a landscape now of the fact that you can be fired for things that we've all done things that we're not proud of in the past, and it depends on how far we take it to better ourselves. And I think that's the biggest problem, is the fact that I have seen no evidence in the last 8 years or so that James Gunn is continually talking about pedophilia and making jokes on a public forum. So to be fired over something that was so long ago, and the whole reason behind it, is a completely different issue than Roseanne Barr.
Yeah.
All right.
The only thing I'm concerned about is the fact that he did this over 10,000 times. I think if there was
and I would like to see the proof on that. I would like all I heard is the fact that he deleted 10,000 tweets. I don't know if he's ever, I've seen 14 pedophilia tweets, but I have yet to see a whole concrete list of 10,000 pedophilia. If that's the case, because if that's the case, isn't that at some point where Twitter actually steps in and starts banning people around that time, when it becomes that bad? I think there's a lot of facts getting twisted around here.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate the call.
Thank you.
Later. All right, you can. We're gonna take one more, and I'm gonna get to the next call. All right, what's up, Comics Plus? Who this? Hello. Hello. Turn your speaker down. Hello.
Who?
Hi. Who's this?
Sorry, I think I have the wrong number.
Oh, okay. Bye. He said, I think I have the wrong number, but I hear my voice in the background. I think he got scared. He's like, oh shit, I actually got through. Oh shit. All right, I'm gonna take a break from the calls. Take a break from the calls because everybody wants to talk about James Gunn. So let me go ahead and get into the next thing real quick. Nobody wants to talk about the other topics. Let me do one more about Dragon Ball real quick. Comic news. Dragon Ball Super latest manga chapter saw a pivotal turning point in the Tournament of Power as Universe's 6th shy female Saiyan, Kel, unleashed the rage and power of a legendary Super Saiyan. Stopping Kel became top priority for Kel's Universe 6 Saiyan teammates Khalifa and Kaba, who launched a desperate gamble with Lord Champa to channel Kel's rage into a bold new form. The Kel Khalifa Fusion Warrior Kefla. Jesus Christ. However, like so many things in the Dragon Ball Super manga's Tournament of Power arc, how Kel and Khalifa fused into Kefla was depicted much differently on page than it was on the anime screen. First of all, the nature of Khalifa coming into possession of the Potara earrings is handled entirely differently. In the anime, she's given the earrings as a secret weapon for the tournament. In the manga, Khalifa is much truer to her roots as leader of one of the Saadala's Saiyan punk gangs by swiping the Potara from the Universe 6 Supreme Kai Fuwa. What am I reading? When Fuwa and Champa realize what's happened, they are both angered and frightened as the move could be seen as a cheat. However, the Xenos love fusion and let the theft ride. When Kel goes LSSJ? Light Super Saiyan? I don't know. He eliminates a handful of competing universes. Wouldn't it be she? Alright, in an instant, and then begins to turn on her own Universe 6 teammates. In horror, Kaba and Khalifa try to intervene, realizing that Kel is actually the legendary Super Saiyan. Legendary Super Saiyan, okay. When Universe's 11th Pride Troopers gang up and knock Kel out the ring, Kaba must sacrifice himself by leaping behind her and throwing her back in while simultaneously attaching the Potara to her ear. The mystic artifact pulls both... hold on. Yeah, okay. I thought this article was more interesting about something else. They're giving her a new origin. That's what I wanted. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, next. As stated, this manga origin and Khalifa's role in the Tournament of Power is vastly different than the anime. The latter debuted Khalifa, Kefla, as an opponent to Goku when he almost knocks Kel and Khalifa out the ring. Khalifa was then used for a tit-for-tat power-up game with Goku, which saw... Okay, this is getting boring. Alright. It's okay. If you guys want... Here's the manga origin. I thought it was going to be a little more interesting. But that's why the anime was a little different. Alright. We're gonna get to the big one real quick, but let me get some water, because we're about to talk about James Gunn in just a second here, okay? Just a moment. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So I just got a good idea for the calls. I know what I'm gonna do. But I need to... Let me just get it now. Hold on, I'll be back. Alright. I'm gonna use this Bluetooth speaker, so when you call, I can hear everybody a little bit better. Unless were you guys able to hear them okay last time? But here we go. Alright. Let's go for this. So this is the big one. This is actually an article that Dave Bautista, shout outs to Dave Bautista for just being a cool dude. And I will have to say, part of me, I will have to say I'm a bit biased with James Gunn because I don't know him personally, but I have communicated with him several times through Twitter. He is probably the reason I think I have my biggest amounts of likes and retweets have come through him during Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And on top of that, Dave Bautista, the two of them tag teamed my Twitter and made it what it is. And so what's crazy is I just talked to he just liked something that I talked about when we were talking about the Aquaman trailer, and I mentioned him and I said how James Wan is very similar to James Gunn's type of work because he cares about it. James Gunn liked it, so I've always looked at him as kind of a really pretty nice guy on Twitter and someone who really cares about the body of his work. That being said, we all have a dark side. Yeah, I am sweating like a whore in church. Yeah. Let's continue. Alright, so in firing James Gunn, Disney hurts all of Hollywood. Here's the article, if you guys want to follow along. A creative industry requires artists like Guardians director who push boundaries, make offensive mistakes, and evolve, writes Hollywood Reporter columnist Mark Bernardin, to demand that every artist who works for you to have never had a past is asking for people who will make boring art. I think that there's some truth there. All right. James Gunn got his start writing for Troma, The Hell's Kitchen, New York schlockploitation outfit that proudly released films like The Toxic Avenger, Surf Nazis Must Die, and Romeo and Juliet. They were gross and offensive and sweet. And the only way these movies got any attention was if they blasted through a bland marketplace with transgression. It was punk. It was about shock and volume, as was Gunn. Clearly looking back at the tweets that surfaced over the past week, jokes he made as far as 10 years ago about topics like rape and pedophilia, the writer-director was feeling things and saying things that embraced that sense of transgression. As Gunn tweeted July 19th, a day before the Guardians of the Galaxy writer-director was fired by Disney, many who have followed my career know when I started, I viewed myself as a provocateur, making movies and telling jokes that were outrageous and taboo. And as I've discussed publicly many times, as I've developed as a person, so has my work and humor. The very things that made Gunn so interesting as a filmmaker came from that place. The reason why you rope him in to write the reboot of Dawn of the Dead is because he'll write a zombie infant. The reason why you let him draft your live-action Scooby-Doo flick is because he'll make it a horror picture. The reason why you hire him to write and direct your giant cosmic superhero movie is because he'll infect it with the irreverence of tone that will make it stand out among a crowded field of giant superheroes. Is the content of those past tweets revolting? Absolutely. Undeniably. And Gunn, now 51, was in his 40s when he sent them. Hardly a kid. But so long as there's been no actual criminal activity, there has to be a difference between a person who was and a person who is. And we have to allow for the fact that people can change. Roseanne Barr is the kind of person who dresses up in a Hitler costume and threatens to bake Jews in an oven. She is the kind of person who fires off racist tweets and conspiracy theories. Jeffrey Tambor is someone who creates a hostile work environment on the sets of his television shows. You fire that person today for something she or he did yesterday. But by most accounts, from his collaborators and peers, Gunn is the kind of person who is committed to equality and representation and who conducts himself on his sets in a fair and respectful manner, who speaks out against injustice when he sees it in the world. He was, it seems, an asshole. Do I want assholes? No. But I'll take assholes who realized they were assholes and changed for the better all by themselves before we noticed they were assholes. Sometimes artists are messy. Artists' lives are messy. They are people full of contradictions. They are compiled to push boundaries, to make noise, to get noticed. Sometimes the urge to do that is because they are driven by some deep-seated mania. Other times, it's because they are preceding past traumas, both physical and psychological. But none of them are static beings. They are always evolving, trying to find a version of themselves that make creation possible. To demand that every artist who works for you have never had a past, to have never had jagged edges that have been sanded over time, is asking for people who will make boring art. I want people who challenge the world around them. I want people who were misfits and outcasts. I want people who raised hell. I want David Bowie. I want Tim Burton. I want John Walters and Sarah Silverman and Mel Brooks and Patton Oswalt and Eddie Murphy. I want the voices that carry, and many of those voices didn't always say the things we want to hear. All right. Thank you, Mark Bernardin. Oh, look at that. How the Dark Knight gave the actor a brighter life. Okay. All right. That's a different article. Here's the thing. My biggest takeaway from this particular story, or this particular situation, is the author makes a really, really good point. And I thought about this. I thought about when the WWE was converting to be more PC and the Attitude Era was gone and they started becoming a little more G-rated, and they introduced a wellness system, right? And even though even though a lot of wrestlers failed the drug tests and they cleaned up their act a lot, I also noticed that the sport itself became a little more boring, a little more, just dull, basically. So through the art had changed. We often talk about how when rock stars or rappers, when they're first noticed, when they're first coming up, when they're hungry, they get really raw, and they're really raw, they're really outgoing. But then gradually they have to start cleaning up a little bit more, and they become a little more general all the time. And if they go the opposite direction, they become drug addicts or end up dying really early on. You know? So I think that's the biggest situation. The thing that bothered me the most about the firing, I don't disagree with it, but I don't agree with it either, because it sets a really horrible precedent that anybody can get fired for anything they've done in their past. And I think there was even a joke in there, or somebody mentioned this on Twitter, with Ant-Man, with Scott Lang, when he was working at Baskin Robbins, and it found out that he had a criminal record. I actually wonder if that's against the law. Can somebody be fired based on a criminal record if they've already done time? And they were like, Baskin Robbins always finds out. And what's funnier is the fact that they fired him, and Baskin Robbins fired him, but then at the same time he was like, oh, I'll let you swipe one of those frappes on the way out. I'm like, wait, aren't you committing a crime now? So it's so dumb, man. Anyways, so back to this James Gunn thing. I think the biggest problem here, again, is the fact that there are things that, Disney, when you get hired, especially by a company like Disney, you get vetted. And vetting, Disney goes to extreme lengths to do vetting nowadays. There's a kid that, there's a recently, a rookie that just got accepted into Major League Baseball, and he made a tweet years ago in the fact that he wishes Obama was assassinated. He wishes somebody would shoot Obama in the head like that. And that came back to haunt him. And he addressed it directly. He addressed it directly. And he said, luckily he had the excuse of just saying that he was a kid at the time and he didn't really know what he was talking about, didn't really know what he was saying. But I think that still stands to be is the fact that when you're getting vetted, you have to own up to some of that stuff that has been said in the past, right? Thank you, Blade. The reason in the Ant-Man movie he lied about it, I got it. That's why they say Baskin and Robbins always finds out. Got it. Okay. So I'm on the stance that if he hasn't really been convicted of anything, of any real wrongdoing, all he said was some fucked up jokes. That's it. And it's weird to me, a little weird to me, I sometimes feel like I'm on the outside looking in because I live in a country where people say black jokes. We call them black jokes, but dark jokes all the time. There's literally a place you can go and buy comics of underage girls getting raped and mutilated, people getting mutilated. There's a whole fetish for that fucking shit. I don't agree with it, but it's still out there for people to get their fix, so to speak. And I'm not advocating people actually do it. I'm not advocating people do it, but what I am saying is that maybe it's better that people do keep it on paper and in a fictional world, opposed to trying to be inspired to go do it for real. I mean, that's an argument you can have for another day, whether or not the material actually inspires people or not to do it. I don't know, but I do feel like I think particularly America is getting a little oversensitive about, and the outrage culture about things particularly. Now, if this was something that he literally said like a few weeks ago, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that's a whole nother thing. But we literally have somebody, I'm speaking about America, we literally have somebody in the highest office in the country who's spitting out some of the worst shit all the time, and literally with the finger on the nuke button half the time, all caps, tweeting things that could be considered offensive, and there's no consequence for that. So you're trying to tell me that there's more of a moral stance with Disney than there is to be the president of the United States. The House of Mouse, bitches. All right. This is it. Godspeed. There's no clear evidence that he did anything. He made tasteless jokes, but freedom of speech means allowing other people to say the things that you don't agree with. Yeah. All right. What's the difference between Weinstein and James Gunn? Weinstein literally raped somebody. I think that's the problem, that a lot of people are not separating something that's tweeted and something that actually has been done. Something that has an actual feeling about it. That's the same thing with PewDiePie. PewDiePie literally said that shit. I think that he needed some sort of consequence, but we do see him, as far as I can tell, we do see PewDiePie trying to be better about things, with still trying to be edgy. That's the biggest thing when you're a creator, when you're a content creator. You try, like, there's literally people out there that hate me, that have tried to take me down consistently on Twitter or other places. Oh, there you go. Hold on. Consistently on Twitter trying to take me down, that continually say offensive things just to stay relevant, to stay in the know. Okay? All right, let's take some calls. Hello, Comics Plus. Who this? Hello? Comics Plus. Comics Plus, who this? Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, is this Akasan?
Yes, it is. What's up? Who's this?
This is Logan.
Logan, what's up? You're not a Paul, right?
I just wanted to apologize for earlier, because I actually did call and I said wrong number because I actually thought it was a wrong number.
Oh, okay. Alright, so what's your thoughts? Yeah. Oops, I just hung up on him. Sorry about that, Logan. My bad. Oh, shit. Sorry about that, Logan. If you call again... Oh, there he is. Hello, Logan? Hello? What's up, Logan? We're gonna get this quality down sooner than later, guys. Hello, Logan? Hello? Hey, Logan.
I can hear you.
Ah, there we go. All right.
Hello?
Okay, what did you want to say?
So what I was going to say is, nowadays, people are a lot more sensitive to stuff like that than back then. There was a lot more of a lower standard when it comes to that. What he said was still wrong, but it's weird how back then there was more of a, people didn't take that stuff so serious as they do now. But in saying that, he still doesn't deserve to get fired because it was like 10 years ago.
So you're saying he doesn't deserve to get fired because it was so long ago?
No.
Because it was a different age.
He doesn't deserve to get fired.
Right. Edgy comedy was more in the now, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you. Great. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Peace. Call me up on my number, ladies and gentlemen. My number is, I forgot already. I'm sure one of you guys saved it already. It's 213. I forgot. Oh my God. Comics Plus. Who this? Hello? Comics Plus. Who's this?
Yo, what's up, man? I'm GTR.
What up, man? Hold on a second. This phone is fucking crazy right now. All right, one more time. Is it connected?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, cool. That's good. All right, who's this?
It's Blade GTR, man. What's going on?
Hey, what up, Blade? Blade in the house. Oh, man. All right, so what you want to talk about? Which top? James Gunn?
You know what? Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's go back to some of the other topics.
All right.
The Dark Side and BVS that was supposed to happen but didn't. I honestly think that would have made for a better movie if they had brought him in.
I agree with you. Yeah, I think it would have been confusing as shit.
Yeah, Steppenwolf was kind of a lackluster character. There wasn't really much development there. If they had brought Darkseid, it kind of would have tied in earlier with BVS and kind of brought that whole thing together. As it was, the Justice League movie was kind of a jumbled mess. And I think if they'd used Darkseid at least just a little bit, as, maybe having Steppenwolf report to him and kind of having that interaction between the two, I think it would have made for a more engaging story.
Yeah, I think so. It would have built him up a little bit more, but I think really what it really came down to is the fact that I think WB, everybody knew that they kind of had a mess on their hands after BVS, and they really didn't know what to do, how to save it. And I think further down the line, they just tried to pull a Hail Mary, and the entire project just got scrapped after a while.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. They've been real reactionary more than taking the initiative. They've always kind of waited and engaged to see what the fans are going to say about it before they actually move on something.
I agree.
And I think that's kind of their big misstep, is that they don't know what direction to go in until they get the feedback, and then they completely change it up from the idea that they had set in stone.
I absolutely agree with you. Unless your name is Christopher Nolan and you're making a guaranteed $1 billion every movie, WB tends to just push you, the director, in the direction that they want to go because they see what other people are doing, and then they try to copy it. I think so many companies,
exactly.
WB, Universal, Sony, all of them basically saw what Marvel was doing, and they tried to do a cheat code to get to that point without doing the homework and taking the patience that was needed to make it go. I mean, a lot of people do complain about Marvel's style in the way how they try to make all their movies look the same, but at the same time, there's a good reason for that, because they have Feige has a direction that he wanted it to go to from day one, not 75 days in later starts changing things. So,
No, I agree 100%. I mean, you can even see that now with the reaction to the Shazam trailer. it's been a huge positive review, and Shazam's one of the lesser-known DC characters, and it's kind of the same thing with Iron Man. Iron Man was a lesser-known Marvel character, except for the hardcore fans that knew.
Right.
And they kind of built that up and kind of took the ground and went and run with that. And you can see right now that everybody's kind of hyped, with the exception of a few people, everybody's kind of hyped for Shazam and seeing how that's more of a lighthearted tone. Yeah.
Exactly. Like
we saw you go from hype to.
I'm mixed. I'm mixed on the Shazam situation because the way that looked to me was it looked like they were trying too hard. It just struck me like this strange 180. And I think that I was thinking about this the other day. I was actually watching Jody's Corner as well and his thoughts on it last night. And I think he and I have very similar points, is that it was just kind of like, whoa, they went from DC to Marvel like real quick, and it kind of looked like they were trying too hard to be like, oh, is this what you guys want? Is this what you guys want? This is funny, right? This is hip. And it was that fucking floss dance, the backpack kick. The moment I saw the backpack kids dance,
that part I will agree with you. That part did kind of like.
That's where, that's the part that
that's a little too campy.
Exactly, that's what bothered me the most, is the fact that like it just was like, whoa, they're trying way too hard now to like complete. It's like they completely ditched some of their demographic. Instead of the edgy teen Snyder fans, now they're going for the more Fortnite fans, and it was just it just struck me a little strange. If I had led into it a different way. And then the other thing that bothered me, the only thing with Shazam that bothered me, is the fact that the kid, the guy that plays Billy, the kid version of Billy, was awesome. He looked really good. He got, like, I was into his story, and it was kind of weird because he looked like a pretty serious kid, but then once he got the powers of the Wizard of Shazam, then he started acting kiddie. And character-wise, that's what kind of seemed a little strange for me, was the fact that from only that material we saw, the kid was really serious and really grounded, and then suddenly, when he has all these powers, he starts doing all these goofy kid type things where it just kind of, it struck me a little strange in that 2-3 minutes of a trailer. That's all.
Right.
That's all. Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate it.
I'll get off. So, yeah. All right, man. We'll have a good one.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Blade. Call me up on my number, guys, 213-674-6007. I don't have money to get a toll-free number, so if you're in America, you know what to do. Yo, Comics Plus, who this? Hello, hello. Bueno. Hey, bueno.
Hello?
Hello. Hey, who's this?
Oh, I think I got the wrong number.
Oh, okay. What the fuck? Ah. Hey, what up? What up? What up? What up? Comics Plus, who this? Hello? Hello? Hey. Man, I'm just hanging up on everybody now. Call me up on my number, baby. Call me up on my number. 213-674-6007.
I think. Yeah, I misheard this voice the first time. Fuck, Ray?
What up, man? What up? Who's this?
I go by Safiro on the interwebs, but you can call me AJ.
What up, AJ? All right, man. Well, what do you want to talk about? The topic.
Actually, I have a few. Well, I know it's a popular topic, but I have a few words about the James Gunn thing because I actually like to see both sides of the story.
Okay, you want to see both sides of the story, and what's the other side? Disney's side?
Well, I do think he should be hired, but I think there should be a thing where Disney should be. Well, I think they technically are. They just want to cover their asses. But I think the point needs to be said. They need to be more attentive about the people they hire.
Okay.
See what they've done in the past. Like, see what they might have said in the past. See that if that is true to what they believe now. Make sure what they believe then is not like the same person they are now.
Okay.
I personally believe that James Gunn has moved on from that part of his life. He's regretted it. He already apologized it back in 2012.
Right.
And he's doing it now. But to poke down more on Doctor Strange, the bill comes due.
True.
I think even Ryan Johnson, apparently, from Last Jedi, apparently it was found out he deleted a bunch of tweets following the whole James Gunn thing.
Everybody is deleting tweets now. Like I'm even going back and deleting some of my stuff back in the day because you just never know anymore. You just never know. Even with the Me Too movement, I was just, even before this broke out, I was just telling my secretary the fact that if some woman really wanted to, she could just start secretly making a file of everything I've said or done. And if she spins it the right way and waits for the right timing, I'm guilty before I'm proven innocent.
I think this is just a point where we just need to we should be able to make it more clear in a mature manner. Like, this was in bad taste. This is not this is not something I represent. I am willing to face those consequences when they come.
Yeah.
But
I agree. No, I agree with you. Boogie, I forgot his full screen name, but Boogie of YouTube, you all know that Boogie. He said the same thing. It's like, just like you mentioned, the bill comes due. The sooner or later, all the shit that Boogie has said on 4chan and over the years of talking, he's made rape jokes. He's made all these sort of like dirty ass jokes. Sooner or later, he feels like his head's going to be on a chopping block when Disney buys YouTube one day. Watch. Right? Watch.
Yeah.
Even I got to be careful. That's why I changed the name of my channel. It's no longer Akasan, it's Comics Plus. And Disney bought me and I got to delete like 1,000 videos of mine. Right? All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Nice talking to you.
All right. Take care, man. Call me up on the number, man. 213-674-4000. No. 213-674-6007. Comics Plus, what up? Hold on. Comics Plus? Hello? Amen? Amen? Hello, hello? Okay. Not bad for a test run, guys, but oh, I wonder if I could just answer it from here. Comics Plus, what up? Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Who's this?
Hi, it's Miriam.
What is your name? Miriam?
Yes.
Cool, man. All right, how you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you.
Cool, cool, cool. What did you want to talk about?
I just wanted to give my opinion on the whole James Gunn story.
All right, let's hear it, man.
I just wanted to say, I think I see both sides, and I think firing him might be a bit of an overreaction, but I think no matter how long it's been, I just don't understand why you would make like jokes about pedophilia
Right.
and all that, and I just don't get why you joke about that in the first place, and that's why I'm kind of understanding why Disney took that steps, even though I'm not sure if that was really the reason, because they've employed known pedophiles in the years before, and they were known pedophiles in the time they employed them for a sequel to the movie where they harassed children on set. So I don't know.
Yeah. I certainly agree with you with that. It was wrong what he said. But you know, there is a stance where if you've, you know, it's almost like, what's the point? What is the point? What's the point of bettering yourself to try to be a better person if you're still going to be caught, if you're still going to be punished for shit that you did long ago that has nothing to do with the person you are today? He didn't, as far as we know, he didn't touch any boys. You know, Kevin Spacey literally deserved that shit because he got in a lot of trouble for, he literally took somebody against their will and did something horrible. But we're talking about a person that put out some words. I mean, what are we gonna do next? Punish fucking George R.R. Martin for writing rape scenes in his books? I don't know about this, you know? Yeah.
I think that's different, because if it's in a book or a movie, it's always imagination and not yourself talking, but it's a character talking, or another perspective and not your own perspective. In a tweet, you're representing yourself, basically.
I agree. No, and I agree with you on that. But I also think that when you're on Twitter, particularly 10 years ago, that Twitter culture was very similar to the 4chan culture, and you're just having conversations, quote unquote, with the boys. Now, it might be some fucked up stuff you talk about, but it is a conversation that you're kind of just having, quote unquote, with the raunchy, I hate to use this as defense, but as Donald Trump would say, locker room talk and things like that. But I definitely think I understand where you're coming from. Cool. Well, I appreciate it. Where are you from?
I'm calling in from Pittsburgh. I'm there on a gap year, but I'm originally from Germany.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Pittsburgh, the Steelers. All right. Well, thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Call me up on the phone here, 213-674-6007, baby. We got 67 people watching right now. I appreciate you all. We're talking about James Gunn. That's the hot topic. We talked about some other shit, but nobody else cares. We're talking right now. We're talking right now. Seriously, I'm gonna have to hire a personal investigator to come fix my shit. To all the shit that I've said, all the rape jokes I've made. I literally just had a video the other day. I literally made a video of Callie and DC Sun talking about this Me Too type shit. And I'm telling you, I know what it's like, that outrage culture. How many Iris West fans come to my channel just to dislike the video because I have a problem. I had a problem with the direction of the character, but not the actress herself. And I used to love Iris West. Hello, hello, Comics Plus. Who this? Hello? Give it a second. Come on, Bluetooth. Work for me, baby. Talk to me, baby. Alright, now it should go. Nope. Huh. The Bluetooth does not work as well as it should. Alright, who this? Hello, hello? All right, that person didn't want to talk anymore. Okay. 213-677 213-674-6007 213-674-2007. Call me up. Let's talk about this. Let me know what's up. Let me know what's up. We are live and in charge right now. Are we talking about James Gunn will never get laid again? Oh, please. Come on now. James Gunn should get abs and be an R&B singer. Those guys get away with anything. I don't know about that one because people will never let R. Kelly go about his shit, man. His shit is over. His shit is over. Christopher Herbert says, sensitive or not, the jokes are offensive. The only problem is that people are using these tweets as a reflection of him today. I agree. All right, let's see about that. Let's try. Here we go. Comics Plus, what up?
I was talking about James Gunn will never get laid again. No, please, come on now.
I hear myself. Hello.
Get abs and be an R&B singer.
Hello?
Hello. Turn your speaker down, man.
I don't know about that one because people will never let R. Kelly go about this shit, man.
Is this Akasan?
Yes, it is. Who this?
This is Hunter.
What up, Hunter? What do you
Wow,
want?
this actually worked.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Technology, man. What do you want to talk about?
I kind of want to go back to the DC Extended Universe.
Perfect. Let's do it.
So I was with you in your Dark Knight stream.
Okay.
And I was very excited about that, and we were talking about that. Saying why The Dark Knight was a really good movie and how it compares to the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
What if these...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I've been trying to call you and trying to get it in my head. How can DC make other DC movies, but like The Dark Knight? How can anybody make a movie that can connect to somebody? You know?
That same style?
Yeah.
Okay. Chance. It really comes down to chance. That's the thing about, you know, when Kevin Feige first set out to do a connected universe, everybody said that was going to be a bad idea. Everybody assumed the Avengers was going to completely blow. I remember when Josh Whedon was hired, they were like, what? That Buffy the Vampire Slayer guy who's never done a big time movie in his life? This movie's gonna fucking blow. Too many characters, not enough time. This movie's gonna suck. I remember when The Dark Knight was being filmed, people were bitching about Heath Ledger's perma-white makeup. But the thing is, it's all about chance, it's all about timing, and I particularly think you need a script that has elements that people can relate to. And one of the reasons Civil War works so well is because it was based on some real stuff that we're talking about even today, with people being held accountable for responsibilities that they take upon themselves, like that. So when you ask me how can they make another Dark Knight, they shouldn't be trying to make another Dark Knight. They should be just trying to give the best representation of their characters, and have stories that aren't intertwining with other people's stuff. And you know, the biggest benefit the WB has is the fact that they get high caliber actors to act out their roles, but they really do need to have people that understand the source material, but particularly want to be able to tell a story very well. One of the reasons The Dark Knight works so well is not because of Christopher Nolan, but because of Jonathan Nolan. I saw an interview from him years ago where the dude knows his shit, but at the same time he knows how to write movies well, and he knows how to project to get that material translated onto the silver screen very well. Same thing with Black Panther, same thing with Civil War, same thing with Infinity War. Instead of making it directly from the comics, they took the genocide idea and really breached more upon that and developed Thanos from that. So I think that's really how it works, is like you really got to be able to take some of the source material and breach upon that, bridge it to the modern world. I think that's the main situation.
Like Wonder Woman, that was one DC movie that I liked, and then Aquaman, it looks really good. You know, it reminds me of Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther. Right. I think right now, after watching Justice League, I think the main thing, I hope what WB has learned is like they can't do what they're trying to do with Marvel. They can't try to be Marvel. They can't try to be playing catch up. Just tell the individual stories, tell good stories, and in the same thing, and at the same time, maybe Justice League was necessary. Maybe Justice League was necessary for people to realize that you can't just jump into doing a team-up movie, and maybe now people will be a little bit more patient to have individual movies, because if we just only did individual movies, very much like when I'm uploading videos on YouTube and I'm on season 2 episode 10 of My Hero Academia, but everybody wants me to hurry up and get to season 3 right away, but it doesn't work like that. You can't just jump. You need to be able to let things build up and give us some feelings, so when characters actually die, we give a shit about them like that. So I agree with you. I think that's the way it's gonna work from now on, and hopefully DC will take its time a little bit more and help develop. Shazam, I'm mixed on it, but it's definitely something that's needed right now. For DC, something different, and I think that's good, because I personally had issues with I wasn't really that intrigued by Deadpool either when I first saw that movie. So you never seen? I haven't even Deadpool 2 yet. Yeah, see, yeah, exactly. So I'm with you on that. For me personally, Aquaman looks like the most epic movie that we're gonna get this year, outside of Infinity War. But I think Aquaman is probably of the DCEU or the worlds of DC. I think Aquaman's probably going to be the most visually stunning one, and I can't wait for that one. So I think DC's in at this moment in time, I think it's in good hands right now. Just take their time, let Matt Reeves take his time for Batman. Batman can stay on paper for a while, and then we'll just take it from there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Back at you for everything you said. I'm talking in my head on the spot a little bit. Work brain.
Brain fart.
Yeah, brain fart.
I'm curious. Are you the kid that I should say, young adult that was on my Flash reaction sometimes?
Yeah,
I knew it. I knew your voice. I recognized it. You're probably spinning around in your room right now. You're probably spinning around right now in your room, thinking right now. I got it. I love it. Can you give me that one sound that you made where you're like, ee!
Which one was that?
All of the. Sometimes you're like, bye, like that.
Oh, yeah, because it's like, like, bye.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. I love it. All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
I have one more thing, though, to talk about.
Sure.
Just on before I go.
Yeah, go for it.
It's awesome to talk to you, man.
I appreciate.
So cool.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Okay, so the James Gunn thing.
Yeah.
I agree with everybody's viewpoints on that. It's like, I just find, so, okay, I have to do some explaining to actually kind of, so you understand what I'm trying to say.
All right.
So I had a job, and so I kind of feel like my job was similar to how the James Gunn situation is. And a person I knew had abstinence issues, and they brought it up later instead of when they should have.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm rambling, spinning around in the kitchen.
So you're saying it was brought up later. It was brought up later instead of immediately, right?
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's kind of peculiar, out of place. Why would they do that?
Because they were building up a case. They were building up time. Now, sexual harassment and things like that, that's a harder call because you never really know what's going on with the situation. But it's everybody, like somebody said earlier, there's both sides of the story, particularly with sexual harassment. But I understand what you mean, man. I understand what you mean. All right, man. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Yep. See ya, Akasan.
All right. Take care, man. Peace. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Call me up on the phone number 213-674-6007. Hey, Comics Plus, what up? Hello. All right. All right. Alex B donates $5 and he says, do you believe how deep and personally Heath Ledger got into the Joker role contributed to the downfall of his mental health and eventual death? No. No. I believe that any project would have taken him to that particular level. If not at that time, later. Maybe somebody could have stepped in earlier on, but I think as someone who has a difficult time sleeping myself and I have to rely upon substance, it's a gamble. It's particularly a gamble. There was already a problem with him and taking sleeping pills, one too many sleeping pills all the time, and unfortunately that happened to be the thing. Yeah. Unfortunately. What's up, Comics Plus? What up? Hello, hello. Hello, my friend. What up? Hello, hello. Everybody, please, if you're gonna call, please say something. Say something. $61 people in the chat right now. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello, hello, Comics Plus. What up? Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hey.
I called in before.
Hi, Miriam.
I just wanted to say my opinion on the new trailers from the DCU, Aquaman and Shazam. And I just wanted to say that I agree with you that Shazam, I really liked the trailer, but I can understand that you had like some problems. I didn't particularly like the Shazam costume, for example, of the grown man. And I'm really hyped for Aquaman. And I agree that it's going to be a great movie for sure. And I think it was interesting to see how it has so many parallels with Black Panther.
Comparisons, yeah.
Developed like completely independent from each other.
This is very true. But I still think that being compared to Aquaman, being compared to Black Panther is a compliment. DC should wish that they get they should be ecstatic that people are comparing it to such a high caliber film at this moment in time. DC needs that right now. They want people to be like, oh yeah, you like Black Panther? Then you're gonna love Aquaman. And people like seriously rushing in to go see an Aquaman movie? Come on now. Like if you told me 10 years ago that 10 years after The Dark Knight that Aquaman was going to be getting his own movie, I would have been laughing. Like, ain't nobody going to see that, but people are legitimately interested, and I think that's good.
You get Khal Drogo and suddenly people are interested.
Exactly, man. My man. Right on. Nice. But you're looking forward to Shazam, then?
I'm looking forward to Shazam too. I just think it looks a little cheesy at some points. I really like the story in the foster home with the two kids and
I agree.
Like the family story. I'm not really sold on like the wizard. It just like I really don't care about costume design that often, but it just looked. I agree. Marvel, for example, has such cool costumes and they can really pull it off. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a bigger problem. Is the costume design? It's I don't know. I'm mixed on it, but it doesn't detract me. I think subconsciously it drops me or pulls me away from the movie just a little bit. But other than that, I think it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look forward to it and give it a chance. And, I'm sure it's still going to be good. I just always like movies to be as good as they could be.
As it should. I think DC has learned its lesson, and hopefully we're in good hands now.
Yeah, hopefully.
Absolutely. Thank you for the call again. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for having me again. I'm a big fan.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye. Call me up, people. 213-674 6007. What up, Comics Plus?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, it's Logan calling back.
Hi, Logan.
I actually wanted to talk about the DC movies.
DC movies, okay.
So, what I think with the DC, how they should have done it, if it should have started with a Batman solo film, they started with Superman, but, like, it should have been like Marvel. But they're what you said, they're too busy trying to play catch-up, and they're hurrying up their movies, which is ending in a result of bad movies.
Yep.
What I feel like they're still going to make a mistake by making the Flash movie a Flashpoint movie. Because I feel like before they do that, they have to give him his own solo movie.
I see. You don't feel
like
do you feel that a Flash solo movie with Miller and such, do you feel like his character was popular enough or received well enough from Justice League to have his own movie?
what I think they should have done with his character, because I'm gonna be honest, they kind of made his character a little bit of a bitch.
Right.
Well, because they took the most OP character and had him trip over every little thing he could.
Yeah. I agree. There were some problems there.
Yeah, and I feel like they could have handled his character a lot better. Like, there was a scene cut out which actually included Iris in it.
Right.
I feel like could have helped further his character into his own solo.
Ah. I certainly understand that point there. In terms of solo movies with the Batman, I think it would have been too closely connected to Nolan's films, so I think they did need to take their time on it. The one thing I agree with Snyder is the fact that Snyder always wanted to do Man of Steel 2 first before even thinking about anything else, but the studio pushed him to throw Batman back into the movies. So it is what it is with that side, and that's the biggest problem, is the fact that unless you're a guaranteed $1 billion maker, WB, the studios will always tell you what to do, and it's just you have to figure out how high you want to jump, basically. So
like I feel like the equation for DC to make the best movies would be you take DC and you throw away WB and you have your DC universe. So DC without the money, DC without
the Warner Brothers, without the backing of Warner Brothers. I see. Interesting. But I would argue the fact that that's already what DC Films is already. You have Kevin Sugihara, or used to be Kevin Sugihara, running the show. Jeff Johns. You had Jim Lee in there as well. I think in the end, the executives and the shadow figures at WB just look at the money, and when they don't see the money coming in, that's when they start to step in and make changes.
The thing was, I feel like if they had gone with like the black suit route, they would have made a lot of money. But WB stepped in and was like, no, we don't want to do that. We're going back to this because we want our movies brighter now.
I see. You're talking about the black suit, the resurrection of Superman coming back. I think the biggest argument there, though, is the fact that the whole thing between Snyder and WB and everything was the more or less of the fact that Snyder was still trying to make this jump into another movie. He was trying to make it more of a two-parter type of thing, whereas WB just wanted him and his vision out of the studio or out of the franchise as soon as possible. And I think that's one of the reasons the black suit never really fully got into fruition. I think that we could have had that black suit basically when Superman was resurrected in the movie, when he was fighting the League right then and there. That would have been a decent enough time to have a black suit. But overall, I don't think it was that indicative to the success. It would have been a big change to the success of Justice League. I think anything with any hint of Snyderism really in there and storytelling just would have been more of the same stuff, basically. And I think that's the thing, is that most people were already, I know he has his hardcore devotees, but more or less most of the people, the general audience, was pretty much done with Snyderism at that point. So
one thing I feel like that could have been a lot better handled with Superman is there was a scene that was cut out that was in the trailer where he actually goes to visit Alfred to see where they are. I feel like that scene could have been left in, and it would have made it a lot cooler.
It could have, but at the same time, I think they were trying to build up that anticipation of the return of Superman. If you just see him walking in there with, like, if you just see him walking in there talking to Alfred, it's like, it basically
takes away suspense.
it killed the anticipation of having Superman come in, tap Steppenwolf on the shoulder, and start fighting. That was pretty badass. They fucked it up with the music.
Yeah.
They fucked it up with the music. But if you go look online, and if you go on my channel and actually look up Thor music Justice League, you'll see how it could have been done a lot better. So, yeah. Cool, man. Thank you for the call.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I have one criticism, and it's about the fact where you have all these great characters like Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, who could easily help themselves in a fight. But they're getting destroyed, and all of a sudden Superman comes in and just absolutely destroys, and I know he's overpowered, but it kind of made them look all weak, and then Superman just comes in and hands them all by himself.
Yeah, I could see your point on that, but that's always going to be a situation with Superman getting involved in things, unless he's depowered, kryptonite, some shit like that. Him coming in is always gonna be a game changer, and that's always just like Thor generally is as well. There's always going to be a bit of a game changer when Superman arrives, and that's what the animated Justice League seasons, that's what they had to deal with all the time. Even Young Justice, when Superboy's around, they got to deal with that as well. So I get it. Yeah.
But they overpowered Superman and depowered Batman by a lot. Like, Batman seemed like he couldn't do anything against them.
Batman in himself was a joke. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't understand why they didn't add the at least the electric gloves or just something to power him up a little bit more. They did it in Justice League Unlimited. I really don't know what escaped on with some other shit there. But all right, man, I appreciate it. Thank you, my friend.
All right, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
You too. All right, guys, we got a huge donation here from Keyboard Junkie. Look, there you go. There's the. Does music play? Oh, okay. I think it. Hold on a second. Been a long, exhausting day, but I just wanted to drop by and show some love and support to you, Akasan. Hope the rest of your week goes well, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Keyboard Junkie in the house. Donating $99. $100. He just doubled my current YouTube income right now through YouTube. Yes, folks. It's that balling on YouTube right now with that AdSense. Yeah. Thank you so much, Keyboard Junkie. I appreciate it. Call me up here on the number 213-674-6007. 213-674-6000. Let me know what you're talking about. Hello, hello. And they hung up. Hello, hello. Hey man, who's this? Hey man, who's this? 60 people in the chat right now. What is up, guys? I know it's getting a little late over, so we'll probably do maybe 10, 15 more minutes of this and try to get some more people calling in, all right? Comics Plus, what up? It's Akasan.
Hey.
Hey.
Al from Puerto Rico. How you doing, man?
How you doing, man? Where you calling from?
Puerto Rico.
Carlito.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Ooh, ooh. What up, man?
Yeah, that's my brother. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great, man. What do you want to talk about?
About the James Gunn situation?
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit tricky for them to rehire him right now. Since, like, I posted on Twitter, I replied to you once that if they rehire him, should they rehire Roseanne? And I know it's kind of bullshit what they did to him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can see the way that the corporation, Disney, is, just trying to save face on the whole situation. Just like
WWE did with Hulk Hogan 3 years ago.
That is true. Yep.
Yeah, when they basically fired him because of past things that he said. So if you think about it, I kind of understand that it's bullshit, but it's a little bit tricky for them. It's not like Adult Swim recently had a whole situation with the co-creator of Rick and Morty. There was a video that came out on the Climate episode, and they didn't fire him because of that, but Adult Swim is more for adults. So I can see how they handle that.
Right.
It's more family oriented, so.
But I think the bigger problem here is the fact that we're crucifying a man for joking, literally joking, like
totally.
Hulk Hogan, if I remember correctly, he was addressing somebody, right? He was actually talking about somebody or a group of people.
No, basically Hogan was that audio came out from the sex tape. He was talking to Bubba the Love Sponge wife about his daughter Brooke dating a black guy that was, according to him, that the guy was pretty broke.
Yeah.
So basically, he said that, why is she dating this Brooke M and not a rich M?
Well, there you go. But he's literally talking about somebody, and that's the thing. It's like it's actually that sort of stuff is that's directed with malice or hate or some sort of it's actually towards somebody, whereas when you're just joking about something, it's not. I mean, how many people on Halloween went out and bought a Catholic priest, a boy blowing a Catholic priest Halloween costume or a sexy nun outfit or whatever the case might be? It's done in a parody or a joke, but it's not actually attacking someone else. So I think that's the bigger problem here.
Yeah, but it's a corporation. They're gonna save face, even though it's bullshit.
Right. Well, I do believe that Disney, at this point in time, Disney is gonna be suffering more or less instead of just rolling with it, Disney is actually going to be suffering a lot more the consequences of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Unless they really do some redamaging and repurposing situation and they pay off James Gunn, to basically publicly endorse what is his name? Tahiti, the director of Thor 3. To I think too many people are going to be upset about it, and I personally think that they should still use the script for James Gunn, and they should still let James Gunn produce, but all the day-to-day work would be done by Wahidi and such. So that's my take on it, because I still think that this is James Gunn's baby, and this is the way the story should be told. And I personally think that if Disney comes back in about a month or so and says, hey, you know what, we talked to James Gunn and we see that he's growing, most of those outrage culture bitches out there are gonna be like, oh, okay, whatever. Like they won't even have the numbers to mount up an outrage anymore. And I think most people would be understanding of that. So that's my thought.
Yeah, I think that would be the correct way to go about that.
Yeah, let it be what it is right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody behind the scenes is basically telling James Gunn that don't worry, everything's going to be all right in about a month or so. I hope that's how it's going to be. I hope so. Otherwise, it's just going to be a mess for when every little thing. If you guys thought the Snyder Cut situation was bad, wait till #rehire bring back Gunn or something like that. #bring back Gunn becomes a thing. I guarantee that will be a problem for everything Marvel related. So there
Yeah,
you go.
because right now I think I read that Bob got going with
Yeah,
the
yeah. He requested.
ties with Disney.
Yeah, he said he was like, take my shit off. Yeah, take my shit off, Disney. Like I've said some dirty jokes before too. I know you don't like that. So yeah, I definitely think there's gonna be more to this as time goes by. Man, thanks for the call. I appreciate it, dude.
Can I say something more? Out?
Okay.
Yeah, I was hearing about the NAKANO-KU, talking about the DCEU.
Yeah.
I think that the misstep that they had was trying to catch up with Marvel. I think they should have started with a Justice League movie instead of an individual movie.
I agree with you. Yeah.
They should have started that way and do what they're doing now, that they're going to do like different movies that are connected and unconnected, just like they're doing on the animated part of their movies. Because that formula for them in the animated movies has worked. So I think they should have done something similar.
I agree.
Live action movies.
I agree. I mean, they decided to go a different direction, and they paid the price for it. But I don't really understand. I don't really think there would have been. You know, I think the executives, they saw 14,000 different outcomes, and this was the only way. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? All right, man. I appreciate the call. Thank you, man.
Thank you, brother.
All right, peace. Calling in from Puerto Rico, man. I love that. I love that. Boop, boop. Give me a call up at 213-674-6007. Comics Plus. This is Akasan. Who this?
Hey man, it's Complex again. What's up, dog?
What up,
Everybody's
Complex?
calling back. I'm like, I might as well call back.
All right. What up, man?
Yeah, I was trying to be nice, and I'm like, oh man, I called first. I'm like, wait, that person called back. That person called. Well, shit, I might as well.
It's all good. It's all good. It's the first run out. Yeah. What up, man? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I was really want to talk about some DC stuff, man.
Okay.
Because I just really got into comics, like actually reading comics. You know, I've been into all like the TV series and stuff, like Justice League and all that stuff. The TV series, the movie was bad, but the TV series was good. And like, it kind of baffles me. I like grew up as a Marvel kid. I don't understand how DC doesn't like own like the theater, because it has the most like in detail characters that you actually read. Like Marvel is a little bit too happy if you actually read the comics for the most part.
Do you think that Marvel, what happened, like, so you disagree with the lighter tone that DC is taking, or what are you trying to say?
Like, I completely disagree, because if they copy what Marvel's doing, it's not going to work.
It
like,
seems, but what do you think about Shazam, though? People seem to be really digging the lighter tone, the comedic side of Shazam.
To be very honest, I think anything but Batman and Superman in it, and people would have been happy. Like, even if Aquaman trailer wasn't good, I think people would have still been like, oh, but Aquaman looks good, even if it looks so-so.
I see.
Because I think people are tired of seeing the same, well, the last couple of movies have been the same three characters in DC. Like, they don't have more than just, the Trinity, I guess.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Right. There's always room for the Trinity, but so what you're saying though is for you personally, you don't like the lighter tone, but you can also understand why they're going that way, right?
Yeah, I completely understand it. Like they're course correcting basically.
Yeah.
Everything hasn't really worked out so far.
Like I said, I personally wasn't really that. I was kind of turned off of Shazam after that trailer, but I understand why they're going that direction. And if it works well for them, then by all means, go for it. I didn't really like the second Deadpool movie that much. And the first one, it took a few viewings for me to really get into it. But that particular humor style, I know it's not for me. That's all. But if it makes them money and it branches the franchise and gives them variety, by all means, let's make that happen. So I don't even know about Venom, and I got a Venom tattoo. I literally dedicated my body to Venom, and I don't even know about that particular movie.
Like, I think, don't get me started on Venom. I'm the only one in my friend group who thinks it looks so bad. I think the gooey suit, oh God, it just doesn't, like, I think they should have just went with a suit. Even though they're not doing, like, the Spider-Man thing, at least go with some kind of suit. When it looks like I think it's going to be very hard. Well, I think it's going to, they went for R rating or whatever, so. But I think for the most part, some kids are going to go with their parents. And no kid's going to be like, you know what I want to be for Halloween, Dad? That gooey thing that was in that movie that I saw. I don't think that's going to happen.
I can't wait for that Halloween costume. Let me be a black gooey pile of poop. Yeah.
I already did Mom. What'd you say, Akasan?
Nah, we were just talking about Halloween costumes. But yeah. All right, man. I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like, I think they got the right actor for it. Like, they got Tom Hardy. Who's the next spinoff movie? There's another Marvel spinoff movie. I can't think of who it is.
Black Cat.
Oh, no, they casted Joker, Bad Joker.
Huh?
I can't think of his name. They casted Bad Joker. I can't think of his name. He was in Suicide Squad.
Morbius.
Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Jared Leto.
The Morbius movie.
Morbius.
Yeah, Morbius.
But I think hopefully with Morbius they actually go more practical than a lot of CGI, because I think that's where Marvel wins. A lot of their stuff, like at least their suits for the most part, other than Spider-Man's and I think Iron Man's, if I believe, are all practical. They all have to get inside of something.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't think that movie will work because of that. But.
Only time will tell. I think, generally speaking, we as fans have a really bad habit of dismantling and dismissing anything that comes out through the woodwork, and we're usually more disappointed and disenfranchised than excited nowadays. So particularly with the internet and the way social media works, but only time will tell if it's going to be a hit or not. Like I said, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, people were bitching about Joker's perma-white look, and now that's still considered one of the best villains out there. So
yeah,
time will tell. Great. All right, man. Thanks for calling back.
All right, man. I might call back again if people keep calling back. You know?
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. Thank you, man. Peace.
All right, man.
We got 52 people calling right now. It's 52 people watching right now. I got that Skype going. 49 now. We're probably going to wrap up in a little bit. As you can see, I'm sweating my ass off in this hot-ass room. Let me move the fan over. Oh, my God. Give me a second. Batman on top, Marvel on the bottom. Damn, I bet this room smells funky as fuck in here. All right. 213-674-6007. 213-674-2... Wait, what? There we go. Comics Plus, what up? It's Akasan. All right. I should change the ringtone to something else, huh? Comics Plus, what up?
Oh, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Who's this?
Okay, so my name is Alex.
Alex, all right.
And so I just want to say I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you, man.
And so, personally, do you think that they should like hire like the writers for like the animated, like the DC AU animated series, or the
I got you. Yeah.
The,
you're talking about Paul Dini
for the live actions.
Yeah, you're talking about Paul. You're talking about like Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, everybody that was involved back in the day with the original animated series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought they should have. I thought they should have long ago. They should have, but now it's too late. It's way too late. It's way too late for them. Like now, it's as somebody mentioned earlier, they're on a course correction. So I honestly don't even know if Paul Dini, if Bruce Timm, if they could even save these characters nowadays. It's course correction right now, and I think right now their best bet is really to be focusing on solo films and just building these characters in solo. The Aquaman we're seeing looks fairly different than the Aquaman that we saw out of Snyder's thing. So the whole world that they're building, Atlantis and everything, looks much better. So I'm okay with them just building good solo movies right now.
Yeah, that is totally true. And I do love both. I loved both of the trailers for Shazam and Aquaman, and they're perfect.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree, man. It's the future of DC is looking, no pun intended, but fairly bright. So, okay.
Yeah,
right on, man. Where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm calling from San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Texas.
Well, that's why we got the West Coast people, because they're the only people are still awake right now. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, people on the West Coast, baby. 52, the number 52. We got people watching, calling right now, 213-674-6007, baby. Let's go. What up, son? Comics Plus. It's Akasan. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Akasan? Watana Magano.
Hey, what up? Watana Magano. Yeah,
How's it
that's how you pronounce it. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. You pronounced it once a while back, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I
Can you refresh my memory about the topics again?
We got a bunch of them. We got the James Gunn firing, the thoughts on that, Dragon Ball Super. We also talked about Batman, how it might be based on year one. Justice League included more of a dark side reference, and the final one was Josh Whedon revealed that he had no plans for Thanos.
Yeah, that's crazy. I often talk about Joss Whedon. That's insane, man. Like, what was he gonna plan? Like, what villain was he gonna use instead? Like, was he gonna use because he couldn't use Doctor Doom or Galactus or any of those heroes because they were at Fox. So like, what were they actually gonna use? You know?
I personally think that he did have a plan, but just a very rough draft of just Thanos coming in as a bruiser basically, and just bulldozing everybody type of deal. I think it wouldn't have gone beyond anything more than that. So based upon what I've seen, based upon the way I've seen his interviews, and even the way he did when he was talking about writing Avengers 2, he just he goes to a pub and he just starts to sketch things out, and just based on his writing and the what I've seen of him, I could imagine it wouldn't have had that much depth to it. Even the best sequence
I don't think so either.
Even the best sequence of Avengers, which I thought was great, the way they segued into every character. He particularly admitted that that was completely coincidental. And I don't know, because I thought that was masterful the way it was done, but he said he doesn't really take much credit for that, and it just happened to come together like that. So and as we see with Justice League, you can kind of see some of his writing and his style a lot. It would have been redundant, so I'm happy with what we got with Thanos and Infinity War.
Oh yeah, definitely, me too. Yeah, that was the best thing ever. Number one for me. What we got. So
it was amazing.
Went that route with the Russo brothers. And
absolutely. Where are you calling from?
New York.
Hey, what time is it over there right now?
It's 1 o'clock right now.
Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, yeah. Late night with the red one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, also I'm going to talk about the James Gunn thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fully disagree with you, but I don't fully agree with you either, because like Hollywood's shady. Like I don't trust it at all.
Yeah. There's a lot of pedophiles on the left anyways, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that's been exposed before, and, there's people like Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein that have been doing, like, them with the sexual harassing and, raping women and stuff. But,
yeah.
Like, that's been happening for, like, years, and it's only been recently, like, exposed and talked about now, punishment's finally taken for those two.
I agree. Yeah.
Pedophiles like Jared Fogle, like, I don't know how long he did his thing or whatever, but, he got exposed, and, he's working that too. But, like, with James Gunn, since there really isn't anything else besides the tweets as far as we know right now.
Right.
I believe there should be an investigation, at least, because that's a lot of tweets that he's deleting. 10,000.
Yeah,
is a lot.
I thought about that. I thought about
suspect a little bit.
Right, it's a bit suspect, but I also thought about the fact that it's like I was trying to think about everything. And can I literally remember everything that I deleted back in the day? All right, everything that I've tweeted back in the day, and to just go back through all the tweets and try to delete everything that I think might be kind of suspect would take so much time. Right. Like, it'd be better if, like, I was thinking about doing this the other day, is just to go back and delete everything. Like, there's a comment on that I made like 2 years ago. 2 years ago that keeps getting brought up like it's and it surprises me that people still find this comment, but it's when Zack Snyder first introduced the armored Batman outfit or whatever like that, and I was super drunk at the time, so I just made a video talking about it, replying to it, and it's the one with the most likes and everything, but it's the one that gets brought up so much through Snyder fans, and one of the reasons they hate me so much. And I'm like, and the other day I was like, oh man, you know what? I should go back and I should just go delete that or whatever. Like, I don't regret doing it. I feel somewhat bad about it, but at the same time, I've matured from that point that I'm not going to just directly talk shit to a director like that ever again. I hope not. But I leave it up there. I leave it up there the same way I leave most of my older videos up, as a way of hopefully people will see that I've grown since then and I've changed since then. Armin from Comic Book Cast 2 has said the same thing about his older videos and his older tweets, is that he leaves most of them up there so that people can see how much of a professional he's matured as. But if this is the case now, that you can be condemned for shit you've said 2-3 years ago or whatever, and people
Right.
you can start losing opportunities based on that, then shit, man, I might as well just go back and delete the last 5. I don't care if it's good or bad. Let's just clean slate the whole thing and delete the last 5 years of everything I've said, so nobody will have shit on me anymore. And I think that's what James Gunn was pretty much thinking, was like, well, fuck, let me just do a clean slate altogether. And
right, yeah.
That's my thought.
You know, like I said, I don't really disagree with you, because, like, with Disney, like, you know they're bullshitting, because they knew about those tweets when they hired him.
Right.
And didn't have a problem with it then, but now all of a sudden they do, and they fire him. Like, what's up with that? Like, that doesn't make sense at all.
Yep.
And it's total bullshit. I don't even know how they even think they're going to expect to get away with that bullshit, because it's obvious. Like, it's just so dumb.
I believe Disney, Disney.
It's gonna work.
Yeah, Disney isn't Disney isn't going to be done with this one in a hot minute. So they might have thought they did the right thing, just a clean slate, but there's been enough backlash and celebrity, not just Twitter support, but celebrity support, people backing James Gunn, that yeah, that I think there's a whole nother. It's not like he did this shit like the other day. This shit was quite some time ago. So, and if, like I've said before, if there isn't any sort of, if you're getting slammed for things you did years and years ago, without any, it's not criminal. It's not criminal to make a tweet like that, to make a joke like that. But if you're getting slammed for shit you did 10 years ago, then what's the point of growing up and maturing then? So I don't. Yeah, that's the big situation. Somebody brought up a really good point that Matthew Broderick literally killed 2 people. He literally ran 2 people, 2 women over with a car in Northern Ireland. Most people don't know that. Yeah, but he literally killed 2 people. Yeah, look it up. It's crazy. It is a crazy goddamn story. But he literally killed 2 people driving around, and he didn't have to do jail time. He didn't do a prison sentence or anything like that. He got off on that shit, and that shit fucked him up for most of his adult life. But he still went through and got to do work and got to do all that stuff, and he made amends with the family and everything. But there's far worse that people have done and still get off with. I think words on a digital platform are the least of people's concerns. Now, again, if tomorrow my boy gets a gun, if his house gets raided and shit, and they find pedophilia all over his computer, and then fuck his movie, you know. But I mean, let's be realistic about this. In fact, I honestly believe that they should, maybe they should start raiding his fucking house and shit just to be sure. And if they don't find anything in it, if they don't find anything in it,
the only concern for me is that, I hope he didn't do it, but you never know.
But my deal is, I do feel like, look, when people start talking about hurting children or whatever, like, they start raiding people's houses and they call the child services and things like that. So my thing is, like, yeah, raid his house. And if they ain't find anything more, if somebody raided my house today, you would never see me on YouTube ever again. You would never see me on YouTube ever again. I would still be accepted in Japan. Because I can't say too much, but I would still be accepted in Japan because it's not a big deal. Like I said, they sell services for fetishes and things like that. But I swear to God, like, if somebody fucking hacked into my computer or some shit like that and found all the stuff that's on my computer, that's all fictional, mind you, but it's fantasy with the writing it's like writing content that helps creators grow so they can explore the darkest mind of what they're thinking and selling it to particular audiences, I would never be on YouTube again, because that shit would get me in so much trouble and what have you not. So anyways, but it's something my family or my girlfriend, she knows, everybody knows the kind of shit that's on my computer, my friends also, but it's completely acceptable within our private circles and shit. But I always wonder to myself, I'm like, man, if I told the same jokes, if I said the same shit that I say in private, if I said some of that stuff public, which I sometimes hint to when I'm around Cali or what have you not, if that was the same deal, like I wonder what the fuck would happen if I would lose everything after that. So, you know, I don't know. It's really annoying about that stuff. Like, it's really annoying. But that's what we're at. Outrage culture. That's what it is right now.
Yeah.
Shit, man. All right.
Outrage. Political shit.
And for the record, people, it is not child porn. Fuck that. I don't. it's not. You think I really if you think I'd have a girlfriend that'd be with me for so long if it was child porn or some shit? Yeah, or lolicone. Anyways, hey man, I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Oh, no problem, Akasan. Take care, man.
Hey, take care of yourselves, man. Peace.
Yep. You have a good one.
You too. Now I'm about to wipe my drive clean right now. The moment this stream is over, oh man, they coming to get me now. They coming to get me. Start throwing water on this shit. Like, oh shit, man. Call me up here. It's not a nervous laugh. What up, Comics Plus? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm good. Who's this?
My name is Nick.
What up, Nick?
I'm from South Dakota, actually.
Hey, okay. How you doing tonight?
Yeah. Good. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm just so worried about looking for the FBI right now, but other than that, I'm good. Yeah. Hi, what do you want to talk about?
I was just watching the stream, and all this James Gunn shit is kind of pissing me off, man.
Yeah, what's up, man? What's your thought on it?
Like, I was looking on Facebook, and I was seeing all this stuff about, like, the Roseanne person disgusted with the shit that James Gunn said.
Yeah, fuck
and,
her,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. She was blaming all this shit on her medication when this was months ago, and she got her own show back. When James Gunn said all this shit back in, like, 10 years ago, like, when Iron Man was the hype shit back then.
Yep.
Like, if they were firing people from shit like 10 years ago, and fire Robert Downey Jr. because he was doing drugs.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. It's Robert Downey Jr. is a convicted isn't he a convicted felon and shit? So is Tim Allen,
Yeah,
all that shit.
He did some weird shit before he got cast as Iron Man.
Yeah, man, like it's some crazy shit. The fact that something you say jokingly can be thing, whereas I've mentioned already, Roseanne Barr said that shit. Like, and here's the thing about Roseanne Barr for a minute, is the fact that if you look at Apology Roseanne Barr and the Roseanne Barr now, she's just going back to her same fucking bullshit. The stuff that got her in trouble previously, the stuff that got her in trouble, she's basically being the same way. She hasn't changed. Nothing's changed about her.
Yeah.
She's only sorry because she got caught and she started making apologies about that. And then once she realized her show was gone, she was like, well, fuck, they fired me because I voted for Trump. Well, okay, I guess that wasn't a real apology. I guess you're not really that sorry about that. You know?
Yeah, because she blamed it on her medication. James
Yeah.
Gunn was like, yeah, I've matured and I've accepted it. Like, why didn't she?
Yeah, if she matured and she accepted it, then she would be up there supporting James Gunn just as much. When PewDiePie got in trouble for saying the N-word, when Logan Paul got in trouble, PewDiePie admitted that he's made mistakes, but what Logan Paul did was wrong. And still, you can see that PewDiePie is trying to, gradually, he's trying to change his situation and to change, to become a better person or a better streamer without sacrificing the quality and the audience of his content. So
yes, because now he reviews memes.
Yeah. Words hurt, right? Like no more Fortnite. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest problem here. Is like you can't compare Roseanne Barr, who is literally like, that wasn't a joke. Or if it was a joke, that was a really fucked up one. And she should know better than that. So yeah. Oh well. It's so sad. Yeah, so sad. Too bad. So sad. Yeah, Roseanne Barr. Yeah. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, was that it? That's all you had?
I think about, like, I'm glad it's a Venom movie that's R-rated.
Is it R-rated? I didn't even know that. Oh shit.
Well, I've heard rumors about it. I don't know if it's like actually confirmed, but that was just the rumors I've heard.
I don't know about that one. Yeah. Either way, I mean, R-rated doesn't equal good movie. People have to also remember that, but it certainly will leave things open for the possibility of it. Yeah. We shall see.
Yeah, because if it actually was R-rated, and I think it was confirmed that Tom Holland wasn't actually going to be in the movie, then I feel like it would drastically change. It wouldn't be R-rated if he was in it.
True, I agree there. Yeah, I certainly agree there. But only time will tell.
I know, like they changed the suit because they didn't want Tom Holland in the movie. That's why the spider isn't on his suit, because they haven't fully connected to Peter yet and his spider suit yet. So I kind of get that.
Really?
Yeah, so I think that's why. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I'm hearing right now they're saying that Venom bites a guy's head off on the new trailer, so we'll see. We'll see how that all cut. Fuck, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
We shall see. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, dude.
All right, take care.
Yeah, you too, man.
Peace. Call me up, folks. 213-674-6007. 213-674-6000. Comics Plus, what up? It's Akasan. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. It's Tom. What's going on?
What up, man?
Hey, calling from Orlando, a little bit late over here.
I understand, man. Well, I appreciate you staying up with us, man.
Hey, not a problem. Hey, just wanted to know, how did the Japanese people take about the new Godzilla trailer?
Good question, actually. I have no idea, because I think the trailer hasn't been released at all in Japan yet. So I think that's the deal. I am very curious. I personally think that the trailer that we saw will not be released in Japan. That it's going to be chopped up a little bit differently, and I don't really think they're gonna have much of anything to show yet for Godzilla in Japan, because there's not a lot of Godzilla in that video anyways. So I'm sure it's gonna be really cut up, and it's gonna be chopped up and changed really differently, and they'll probably show 11 a few times, and they'll just be like, people won't know what to think of it just yet. So I don't think the marketing campaign for Godzilla is coming out just yet. So
now, wasn't it true that they made Shin Godzilla because they didn't want to get out toehold by an American movie company?
No, as far as I know, the bigger deal is they made Shin Godzilla, but they were always planning to retire him for a few years anyways. The last movie I think was Final Wars, thank you. Final Wars.
Yeah.
And people said that was going to be the last Godzilla movie for a while. They wanted to retire him for quite a bit and then bring him back later. And I thought that was the right move to make. But then Hollywood just kept on making their version of Godzilla movies. And 2014 Godzilla was basically them softly showing Toho that, look, we can treat the property right, and then if you do it right enough, if it goes well, we're gonna give you the rest of the monsters. And as we see, that's what we're seeing with Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters. But what's happening though is the fact that Toho, they want to make their own shared universe. So as far as I know, I don't know the full detail about this, but as far as I know, Legendary Pictures, their contract is up with using Godzilla and all the Toho monsters fairly soon. So after after King Kong and Godzilla, I think that's it. They can't do it anymore because Toho is going to put out their own sort of Marvel shared universe type Godzilla movies in the future. So, and they're going to be releasing that in they're basically going to be making their own American versions of the movies. I don't know. It's a little confusing, but I guess that's the way it's going to work right now.
Well, I guess it makes sense with King Kong coming out just about 1 year later.
Right.
So
right.
It makes sense that way.
Right. They're speeding up. They're speeding up because I think Legendary Pictures loses the rights and they can't renew it or something like that. It's a little weird to me, but I personally feel like Legendary is doing a good job with Godzilla, so I'd rather another company not turn it around because I think that would be overexposure. But it is what it is. I just wish they made him a little more fit. He's got to do a few more sit-ups before before taking on King Kong. Shit, man. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. Well, I appreciate the call, man.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Hey, thank you. Take care, man. Comics Plus in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you call me up. There we go. Comics Plus, what up? It's Akasan. Thanks for the call. I should change the ringtone. If anybody knows a good ringtone on Skype, let me know. Hello? Oh my god, yes, what's up?
Was watching the stream.
Hey, okay, who's this?
My name is Andrew.
Andrew, what up, man? Where you calling from?
Florida.
Florida, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. From calling from Florida, I suppose. Thanks for staying up for us, with us. So, what do you want to talk about?
Let's see. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about the James Gunn.
Okay. What's
a little bit about the Venom 2.
All right. What's your thoughts on James Gunn?
Well, let's see. Most of those tweets were about a decade ago. So, I mean, they were back from, 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
With them just now noticing them, how can that relate?
I mean, they knew about him. They knew. I'm sure they knew about him. They just didn't think that there was going to be an uproar about it. So.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what takes most people off about it.
Yep, they gave in. They gave in, which is the worst type of decision making you can make, is when you just give in to a outrage culture. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. And what's your thought on what was it, Venom, right?
Yeah, Venom. Let's see. Well, man, I love the actors that they're getting. Tom Hardy. They were talking about for Carnage. They were doing Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Fantastic actor, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, let's see. Because I know we were just discussing the stream 10, 15 minutes ago. With Venom being rated off, most of these kids are going to go watch it. They're going to be like, oh, I want to dress up like this for Halloween. Well, the parents are going to go take them to see it. They're going to see what it's about.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah. I personally, I personally think that I don't think enough kids are really gonna watch that movie. I don't think a bunch of kids will be in that place. The way it's marketed right now, I think it's gonna be the older audience, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it works.
Yeah, I've been studying here, like, waiting for, I've been just, like, dialing, and every time I get, like, this certain message, like, this number is deactivated or something.
Deactivated? Wow. That's crazy. Maybe I should leave a voicemail. I should leave some sort of voicemail or some shit. That'd be funny. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
All right, take care, man. Peace.
You too.
All right, guys, I'm winding down a bit. I think I'm gonna give it 10 more minutes. Let's do an even 3 hours right here, and we'll be done here. Comics Plus, what up? It's Akasan.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so it's Logan one more time. I just had a quick question. What is the schedule going to be like for these?
My schedule?
Like,
when are you
doing these?
I'm gonna try to do this once a week. On this day only. Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday. This is my day off from work, so I'm gonna try to do it once a week. It depends on the news. The James Gunn thing is a hot topic right now, so I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that everybody's coming together for this one, but I'm gonna try to do it once a week to continue to add more variety to the channel. We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
Cool. Thanks, Logan.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'll let you go see you have other people you can talk to.
I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome. Bye.
Peace. All right, hit me up on the phone, guys. 213-674-6007. I would appreciate it. Look at my fucking phone, guys. It's like, oh. Don't give away some numbers. Comics Plus, baby. What up, man?
Hey, AJ.
What up, AJ?
Not much. Just, enduring the Florida heat at 1 a.m.
I know that feeling. It is hot right now. Hot as hell right now.
I feel like discussing some DC.
Okay, go for it, man.
I want to start with the fabled Snyder Cut. You want to know what the Snyder Cut looks like? You know that leaked cut of X-Men Origins Wolverine where all the effects weren't done. It's just the wires and Cyclops' vision looks weird.
That's what you think?
Snyder Cut.
That's the Snyder's Cut?
That's the Snyder Cut right there.
Do you feel the Snyder Cut would have been better, though?
Maybe in some aspects, but overall, it probably, different tone. It ended up being with a probably similar reception at best.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would have been worse. Yeah, I think it would have been worse.
But to me, that's what the Snyder Cut will look like. It'll be like this chopped up, leaked cut like X-Men Origins Wolverine, because they ain't going to finish that ever.
I agree with you.
Even Henry Cavill, Superman himself, is like, move on from the Snyder Cut, guys. I don't think it's happening.
I agree with you, man. Yeah, it's a unfortunate situation, but I definitely think people should probably just try to move on. I don't think anything will really be released, but I also think at the same time, part of WB and Snyder, everybody likes the fact that people are still talking about it, because at least they're talking about the DC. So
I do like the possibility of the vision of the original thing, but That's all it is. It's just it's a different vision.
Right. I agree.
I do like the curiosity. I love the curiosity.
Yeah. I personally, like, as I mentioned before, I personally think that they should at least just animate Snyder's story and then call it a day, and that's it, basically.
That'll do.
Yeah.
We'll start getting animated dark stories while DC's finally taking a Snyder route with Aquaman and Shazam.
I agree there.
So,
I think so.
But I will say in the trailer for Aquaman, Atlantis is definitely designed to be like DC Wakanda. They saw how that looks. They know what they want to do.
And that's not necessarily
like, shit, we gotta do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's, like I said earlier, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I would be
No, it's not.
I would be jumping heads over heels if people said my channel looks like PewDiePie. I'd be like, fuck yeah, well, thank you. 60 million something subscribers? Yeah, hell yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Like, yeah, I'm good. So,
I do love the direction the Shazam trailer took. It took me a moment to get used to, but then I realized kid who takes things seriously. Once he has his powers, he feels like a kid.
Yeah.
Because realistically, nowadays, like, a kid doesn't always think about being a superhero.
Right.
Until they realize, until they think about the possibilities. What happened? And you start feeling kiddish. I think.
I agree with you.
And I think.
I understand.
I think the plot,
Yeah. I see that
I think
aspect.
Zachary Levi doing that Fortnite dance is supposed to be somewhat representative of that, because Baylor realizes, I have power. I'm going to have fun.
Right. So I think that all we're seeing right now is a small snippet before the reality really starts to kick in. Maybe. We'll see. We shall see.
And then you get, and then you have Titans, where Robin's like, fuck Batman, with little to no
Yeah. That.
Batman didn't do that.
Yeah.
And they're apparently supposed to bring in Red Hood, and so how are you gonna compete with that? Because you have two Robins who are like, fuck Batman now.
It is what it is with what's going on, man. Well, thank you, man.
I'll give it the benefit.
Yeah.
I will close with, I will give Titans the benefit of a doubt and just pray it's just horrible editing.
Titans, yeah.
Like, hey, this is serious. You take this seriously.
All we can do,
heard,
all we can do is wait and see. That's it.
That's exactly.
I mean, that's all we can do is, My pleasure, man. I appreciate.
I appreciate your balanced honesty.
Not everybody does, but I'm glad you do. Yeah.
Thanos would be proud.
Perfectly balanced. All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Have a good night. Peace. Perfectly balanced, folks. 3 minutes here. 3 minutes. Comics Plus, it's Akasan. What up, my friend?
Oh, what's up? Perfectly.
What's up? Who's this?
Hi, my name's Garrett. I've been trying a little bit. I've been looking in chat trying to figure it out. Just got off work and had no idea how to get it working.
It's okay, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Ironically, I was going to talk. Are you caught up on Gotham, or where are you at?
I am not, actually. The last episode I saw was when Vic Mackey from The Shield was running shit, and that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah. What's up?
So, it kind of goes with the Titans thing, the new DC streaming service.
Okay.
I don't know if you know, but this is like the last season for Gotham, basically.
I do know that,
like,
yes.
You have one more season to close it up, which is really cool, and I'm glad that I get that chance, because I very much enjoy Gotham. But that does mean that it is available for pickup, and I'm wondering if the CW could pick it up and bring that in with, you know, how they're bringing in Batwoman, and they're bringing the Gotham universe into the CW universe.
You mean
if they'd be willing to do that?
So are you meaning, like, you're meaning the rights, though, right? The rights are the actual story
like
itself.
They would have to purchase the rights and stuff, like the writers and all that.
I rather them bring in Gotham. I rather them bring in the story of Gotham or whatever, the actual characters, that's fine, but I wouldn't want to connect the universe.
Yeah, what you mean. So you would rather just rehire all the actors again and start
Yeah,
fresh.
totally. I think Gotham in itself is an interesting story, but I look at it very much like multiverse. The same way I look at Ben Affleck as a kind of multiverse Batman. Somewhere in the world, he's a different sort of Batman, and the same thing with Bale. I don't really see him as a comic based. Like, I don't see them as the definitive sort of Batman or whatever, so to speak. You know what I'm trying to say, basically. Totally. It's just Gotham does whatever Gotham does. It's entertaining for some people, but that's about it. The same way where Teen Titans Go is just kind of its own thing, and Titans is its own thing, and I'm fine with that. Like, it gives us variety.
What I think bugs me with Gotham is the writing can be really good, like top notch, like season 1, season 5, and yet they have these amazing actors, and I just feel like they're kind of put to waste in some instances.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the Riddler, stuff like that. Like, they're amazing actors.
Totally. The episodes I see and what I have seen, I have enjoyed, and I like its Batman Returns, kind of real Tim Burton type feel to it. It's just that sometimes the plot lost me, and there's been something. There's some things about it that just it doesn't have that kind of similar to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like it just doesn't have enough of a draw for me to continue watching it. Like just yesterday, I was trying to pick up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I was doing my hair, and it takes about 4 hours to do. So I'm like, yo, okay, let me check this out. Let me see if let me catch up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But unfortunately, out here, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 6 or whatever, the one after Ghost Rider, it's not available for me to stream right now, so I can't really watch it. Same thing with Gotham. So I don't really have a easy way to like just catch up on a lot of those shows, which I actually want to. So, but it's just gonna take a while over here. But you know, I'm not against these shows. It's just that there's not much of a desire for me to really watch some of, like, this is why I understand why a lot of people wait till seasons are over and then they binge watch them, because it's just there's not really on a weekly basis, it's not something I really want to watch. Same thing as The Flash and Arrow. For the most part, right now I'm back into Arrow again, where I can watch it every week. But there's a good amount of shows that binging is a much better idea.
Yeah, I don't want to take too much time, but if you don't mind, I'd like to talk about The Flash quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I'm a huge Flash fan. Like, read the comic book since I was like 6. I've grown up on him. Like, he has just been my favorite. I love the Rogues. Still disappointed they never did a season with the Rogues, which I still don't know why they didn't choose that instead of, the Thinker. That would have been a much better non-speedster, villain instead if they didn't want to go down that route. So I felt like I've been very frustrated with these past 2 seasons, and not necessarily disappointed in the villain choice per se, but I mean, when you have the character like the Flash who has such a good rogues gallery, and you're going to choose characters like this and make them so stagnant, where season 1 was so good about bringing in a different rogue or, villain to vary every episode with an overarching villain. But I felt like 3 and 4 didn't do that. Season 2, you had, like, the metahumans from Earth 2. Season 1, you gotta meet the original, like, Captain Cold Heatwave. And I think that's why 3 and 4 wasn't very successful, and I'm hoping that they pick that up again in season 5.
I hope so too. I hope there's an overarching. I think what happened a lot was there was just a lot of stories. They had a beginning, a middle, and end, but they really didn't know how to fill the rest of it to get to that point. And I think that's what hurt it the most. I actually liked the Thinker, and the scenes with the Thinker being there was great. It's just that in between was just such garbage, hot, like super hot.
You did that Freak of the Week almost.
Yeah, but it wasn't even good. That's the problem. It was like the supporting characters just sucked dick like terribly. And introducing Ralph was cool, but then he started getting like super, like it just went really into this bizarre campy zone, like this campy type situation that I was just like, man, this is just bad. Like, so, and if they go, mark my words, if they continue going that same direction, that same sort of slapstick comedy, just corny type of stuff, that I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with the show. I'm gonna give it a chance.
So sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad to hear, man.
I know, right?
One and season 2 was so good. I mean,
yeah.
When you talk best start or pilot of a season, I think The Flash. I think Daredevil. I think shows like that. And then it's just so saddening to think about that's how it's gone now. So here we are now.
I know. I know, and that I mean,
maybe they'll pull an arrow and redeem themselves. In season 5.
Oh, we can only hope so. And you know, shout outs to Arrow for being that damn good. Like Arrow had such Arrow was so good in the first 2 seasons, but to be that good that you can still try to get some of your original fans to come back, and you know, still praise it, to still showcase my arrows in the background, and to still be that damn psyched for a show even after a few shitty seasons. That's Smallville mentality right there. And you know, I'm glad that there's still enough people out there that are into the show. It's just as time goes by and all these networks start to introduce more shows and bring more stuff out there, the competition is steeper. You know, I think the biggest thing that hurt Arrow and particularly The Flash as well is the fact that Netflix, they got their own shows now, and the DC universe is out there, Gotham as well. And I personally don't like most of the Netflix shows. I think they're pretty boring as fuck half the time. But that's particularly because of the music. Like they don't actually have any music, so it's pretty dry for me most of the time. But I will say Daredevil really made Daredevil came out at the time when Arrow was at its worst, and I think that's one of the things that hurt Arrow even more, was the fact that when Daredevil came out, I think Arrow was around season 3 or season 4. I think it was season 3, but then Daredevil was just so good. It just showed how bad Arrow was at that time, but at the same time it made people rethink and be like, shit, well, we're you know, they bring in Prometheus and people are like, oh shit, Arrow's great again, like that. So
yeah, what I love about the writers of Arrow is, like, I talk about the Flash Rogues Gallery and how deep it is. Oliver Queen, he doesn't have that deep of a good rogue gallery. Like, he's got some good rogues in there, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, like, it's impressed me these past 2 seasons that they're coming up with these characters and they're making them interesting to me. Characters that I've read in the comics and just thought of them as one-off villains. And then now, you know, with Adrian Chase and Nate Diaz, it made them very interesting to me. Which is not an easy thing to do to a comic book fan.
Well, and I think the other situation is the fact that when you start to internalize the characters and really bring it back to the forefront of it being about the people that people are fucking tuning into, Oliver Queen. That's why I thought that season was so good, because it did focus on him being the mayor. Was actually really interesting to me. I'm like, yo, let Diggle continue being the vigilante for a while, because Oliver doing mayor shit was actually interesting. On top of that, Oliver, the Flash, and that's what hurt the Flash season 4 the most, is because Barry was around, but he wasn't doing shit. I'm like, this is the fastest man the fastest man alive, and we don't see him do anything ever. Any episode, it's basically Iris and Flash and his goofy ass friends doing their shit, but the Flash isn't really doing anything. And I think that's what the problem, that's what the issue was. That shit should have been about the consequences of escaping the Speed Force and the Speed Force revenge on all that, but they completely went a different direction. But we'll see what's up.
Yeah, I think so. I think they can redeem it for 5.
Yeah, we'll see what's up. All right, man. Well, I appreciate the time. I appreciate the questions, and I thank you so much for tuning in. You too. Take care, man. All right, man, guys, and I think that's how we're going to end today's conversation. It was a good time. It was a lovely time. Thank you so much for all the calls today. It was real fun. Dvoritsky. Somebody in Russian, man. Oh, man. I think that might be the talk. That might be the thing next week. Or if I can do it next week, maybe we'll talk about CW or something like that. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I hope we get more people tuning in the near future. It was very fun. It was good to talk with all of you. Heated conversation about James Gunn, man. Woo! We'll see what happens next week with James Gunn, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button, you subscribe, you share this with your friends. I'm gonna try to do it every week when I have the time. If not, every 2 weeks, something like that. We'll see, man. This is Comics Plus, baby. I'll talk to you guys later, and make sure you tell your friends. Take care. I'm out.